Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Oscar Buzz, episode 15. Or 15. That's a number. I am Trevor here, as always, with my co-host Thomas. Thomas, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, We've got a lot to talk about this week. A couple films, some news, some awards, and we'll be doing Oscar predictions update, January update, which should be a lot of fun.
Yeah. I don't. We'll have to check the length on this to see if we'll do those in the same video or if it'll be a separate video. But they should be releasing around the same time, so lots and lots to look forward to for everybody. Assuming that you're actually excited about this. All right. Let's just jump straight in. Let's talk news first. Let's do news first. So Brad Pitt is going to star in a Formula One movie for Apple TV. I felt that this was of note. There isn't a director attached as of yet, but this feels like it could be a Ford v Ferrari.
Yeah.
I mean, picking up sound and editing, and maybe Brad Pitt gets nominated, but I don't know. Apple TV hasn't been doing great with their campaigning. Like, both Coda and Macbeth have not been campaigned well at all.
I think if they really put effort into campaigning Tragedy Macbeth, I think it could be doing a lot better. Coda's one that is getting in off its own merit. Tragedy Macbeth, if they really campaigned, Frances McDormand could be more in the conversation. And other awards like that, production design, maybe they could slip in there. But yeah, I'd agree. Apple TV, maybe they're new to the game, I guess. So give them a couple of years, maybe in the future. Maybe with a film like this, they'll really put that effort into campaigning it. But we'll see.
For sure. But not much to touch on. Lots of news this week is just like stuff getting announced for next year and potentially 2023. So, speaking of that, Chris Evans is going to play Gene Kelly in Rian Johnson's next movie. So this is probably between shooting Knives Out 2 and Knives Out 3, because Knives Out 2 we're getting this year. And I guess we're getting this before Knives Out 3. I don't know what to make of this.
I mean, yeah, Rian Johnson is, fair to say, a pretty divisive director. I quite like his stuff on the whole. I like The Last Jedi. I really like Knives Out. And he's done some of the best episodes in Breaking Bad. He directed them. But then he's also done stuff like Looper, which a lot of people are fans of. For me, not personally. But yeah, so he's quite a divisive director. Chris Evans playing Gene Kelly, it interests me.
Yeah, I mean, it's a biopic about old Hollywood. So this has to be considered. Rian Johnson is now an Oscar nominee for Knives Out for Best Original Screenplay. So, I mean, Chris Evans has never gotten anywhere close to the Oscars conversation.
No.
But who knows? Maybe this is his Oscars breakthrough. I don't see the role.
No, maybe not.
It doesn't, him as Gene Kelly just doesn't feel like that fits, I guess. I don't know. I'm not entirely here for this.
But I am interested to see it, nonetheless.
Because I do really like Rian Johnson. I would say more so his writing than his directing. But we'll see. We'll see what happens here. All right, Vanessa Kirby has replaced Jodie Comer in Ridley Scott's Napoleon film Kit Bag. I want to see Vanessa Kirby in more stuff. She was phenomenal in Pieces of a Woman, which she was nominated for. And I think we're going to see Vanessa Kirby win very soon. She was in an indie that just came out this weekend. I think it's called Italian Studies. I'm probably going to watch it soon. But yeah, I mean, I'm definitely excited for more Vanessa Kirby. We don't know why Jodie Comer left, but I mean, it's Ridley Scott. It's going to be an Oscars contender.
Exactly. It's a big name, Vanessa Kirby, maybe not the biggest name in the world, but she's still a name. And yeah, it's sad to see that we won't see Jodie Comer and Ridley Scott team up again. I've seen The Last Duel, loved The Last Duel. He really brought out a great performance in her. So it's sad we won't see another one like that. But I'm sure Vanessa Kirby is a good, sort of replacement for her.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. All right, we're gonna speed run the news here. So another biopic here. Luca Guadagnino of Call Me by Your Name and Suspiria is going to be directing an Audrey Hepburn biopic starring Rooney Mara. So Rooney Mara as Audrey Hepburn, I'm actually very excited about. I feel like that was almost like a fan casting for a long time that people wanted to see. In the hands of Luca Guadagnino. I don't think this fits him.
No, it is an odd choice. I mean, he's a competent director.
Yeah.
They may have just selected a competent director that had a bit of free time. I guess that's maybe the direction they went with it.
Has a film coming out called Bones and All, where he's reteaming with Timothée Chalamet. He also is attached to something else. I can't remember what it is, but it's another Timothée Chalamet movie. Or no, what was it? I can't remember. There was some biopic that he was supposed to direct, I think, with Timothée Chalamet. So this is the 3 projects he's attached to that are supposed to be coming out. It doesn't feel like he has free time.
No. Maybe he likes to keep busy. Busy.
Yeah. So I don't know what we'll see here, but whatever. I'm very excited to see Rooney Mara as Audrey Hepburn, though. I will say that. I think that this could potentially be an Oscars performance for Audrey Hepburn.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. Yeah.
All right. Next piece of news. Dev Patel, Ralph Fiennes, Ben Kingsley, Benedict Cumberbatch are all going to star in Wes Anderson's next movie, The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar, a Roald Dahl adaptation. We all know how his last Roald Dahl film went, and it's perfect. And it's called Fantastic Mr. Fox. This one's going to be live action, and it's also going to be perfect.
Okay. But no, this cast is very, very good. Benedict Cumberbatch, Dev Patel, Ralph Fiennes, and Ben Kingsley. What more can you really ask for? Plus, yes, he does have that track record. Not as familiar with the Henry Sugar story. I've never read it, so I don't know what it's like on the story front. But Fantastic Mr. Fox did change quite a few things, especially in that third act. It goes on with the story and then it goes past it. So I'm excited to see if Wes Anderson does something similar with this film, which I'm sure he will. Add his own little spin to it.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody watching this knows Wes Anderson is my favorite director. So anything that he does, I mean, already this cast, plus he's only going to build on this. This cast is only going to get bigger. I mean, just all of the things. All of them. I'm very, very excited for this. Asteroid City's coming out this year. That's already finished, and this is going to be 2023. We're going to get Wes 3 years in a row.
Yes. Yeah.
It's very exciting, at least for me. He also revealed that Asteroid City has completed filming. This one's interesting. Turning Red is heading straight to Disney Plus. So this is Pixar again.
I know. Again. It feels like they're being sidelined by Disney, which is not fair. Yeah. Soul, Luca, they both went straight to Disney Plus. And yes,
Onward
it's good. Onward. It's good for convenience sake. And I guess if they are worried they're not going to make a profit off of this film, it makes sense business-wise. But to me, then I go, why didn't you put Encanto on straight to Disney Plus? It feels like it's almost a vendetta against Pixar.
This feels strange. Are they gonna? I can't imagine Lightyear would go straight to Disney Plus.
No, I hope not.
But this is now 4 in a row. Because Onward was released in theaters for 2 weeks and then went to Disney Plus. So I don't know. This is interesting. This is very, very interesting. Also, will this be Oscar eligible then? Because we don't know the rules as far as streaming for 2020 for the 2023 Oscars for 2022 films. So, because like 2020 and 2021, we had the special rules for COVID, but I don't know how 2020 is gonna work. Like,
I mean, they may show it in enough theaters to get it
maybe.
eligible. You know, that's what a film like The Irishman in 2019 did,
Right.
when the rules were a bit,
Fair,
you know,
great.
still a bit, yeah. But they showed it in enough theaters to make it eligible, while still it basically being a streaming movie. So that's what they could do here if they even want it to go for Oscars. I mean, maybe they want the attention to be more on Lightyear. Who knows?
Maybe that. Yeah. This feels very, very strange. And last piece of news. This is very exciting. Kate Blanchett is going to star in Pedro Almodovar's first English feature, Manual for Cleaning Women. So I actually just watched his first English language anything today. It's a short film called The Human Voice, starring Tilda Swinton, and it's great. It's very, very good. It's 30 minutes. I highly suggest everybody check it out if you have the chance to. Yeah, I'm very excited for this. I mean, his last film, Pain and Glory, got an actor nomination for Antonio Banderas plus an international feature. Parallel Mothers looks like, was sadly sidelined by Spain for no apparent reason. As you said, Thomas, if it would have been submitted, it probably gets into international actress and score. So is score still possible? Maybe.
Maybe.
It's the 6 or 7. It's the 6 or 7.
Yeah,
But
probably.
yeah, the thoughts on this because this could be big.
I mean, I am not familiar with Pedro Almodovar, whatever, however you pronounce his surname. I am not familiar with his work at all. I've not seen a single one of the films. I do plan on watching Parallel Mothers when it's released over here. So, I can't comment too much other than I'm sure it's going to be good.
Yeah. I mean, the Oscars like him. I mean, and we've seen when international directors make their first English language film, usually goes over pretty well. I mean, even just looking at like Denis Villeneuve, he had Prisoners. Like that was great. I mean, we've seen like I'm trying to think, like Guillermo del Toro. Like he did like I think Blade 2 and like Hellboy. But then like when he actually got like serious about stuff, like he had some major stuff. Like I mean, Alfonso Cuarón. Like you think about all these directors, like they when they transition, they usually come out of the gate pretty strong, especially with Cate Blanchett attached. Like
yeah,
should be big.
Should be good.
Absolutely. So that gives us some more stuff for our inevitable in April, a way too early Oscars predictions videos for 2023.
It does indeed.
This is very exciting, and I'm very excited to do that. All right. Let's talk about some new releases. Let's kick it off with The Tender Bar. Let's talk about The Tender Bar. All right. Thomas, I'll let you go first on this one.
Okay, so it was fine. I mean, that's really the route that this film did for me. It's fine. It's a fine film. It does everything fine. Ben Affleck, I actually think is better than the movie he's in. He does a better job than he is given. Ty Sheridan is fine. I don't think he's bad like some people are saying like you.
Ty Sheridan with a burning passion.
Yeah, I think he's fine in this. I didn't buy the romance that they were setting up, and I thought the story overall felt a little, bland. I did like the stuff in the bar where with the actual dynamic between him and these older guys. I did like that. I found that a lot of fun. I didn't think there was enough of that, unfortunately. And it did have some sweet moments overall. That pulled at your heartstrings a bit when Christopher Lloyd goes to that father's breakfast, wherever it was. That was a nice, sweet moment, and that's really what this film is doing.
Yeah, this feels like Hillbilly Elegy. It's a film based on a memoir that premiered on a streaming service, and it's probably gonna get. I mean, Hillbilly Elegy got supporting actress in makeup and hair. This might get Ben Affleck into supporting actor, and that's it.
Might.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So I mean, this movie's not anything special. Ty Sheridan is probably my least favorite actor working today. I just do not like him. it's just he hasn't made a single good film. I think that's pretty objectively true. I mean, as far as like his performance, like
yeah, I'd say that's fair. I don't think he's bad in this. I just think he's fine. He's doing an adequate job.
He's
like maybe a little forgettable.
He's forgettable. Like I don't like. Yeah, I agree. All the stuff with Ben Affleck is great. I think Ben Affleck is actually very, very good in this movie. I would have liked it to focus more on his relationship with Ben Affleck and figuring out his father figure, because I think that's a really interesting dynamic and place to take this story. Not I did like this weird romance subplot that means absolutely nothing and went absolutely nowhere and just felt like it was like distracting from the main storyline. I just like I don't know, this movie felt like it was trying to do so like way too much. It really did feel like a movie based on a memoir, where it was just like, this was what happened in this person's life, and like in everybody's life, like not everything's that important, so you don't really need to tell us everything. Because not all of it, like that was the problem with Respect. It was 2.5 hours long and it just tried to tell us everything, but like half of it wasn't important, and then we just didn't get like an actual like narrative message out of the film. It was just like this thing and then this thing. It's like, that's what I get from reading a Wikipedia article, not a movie. And that's honestly what this felt like. I mean, the only good thing I can say about it is Ben Affleck. Otherwise, like I'm gonna forget this movie very easily.
Oh, I think I'll forget watching it. In 10 years' time, I'm gonna look back and not even remember this movie existed, probably.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. 100%.
But like, I think it did enough in the moment for me to, make it feel like bored. Yeah, exactly. I wasn't bored. I didn't come out with a negative experience. I didn't wish I hadn't watched it,
Yeah.
So,
I mean, which are very, very low bars for a film. But like,
well, yes.
I don't hate that this movie exists. I'm perfectly fine with it existing. I just probably won't acknowledge its existence in this clip, because like it's here, whatever. So yeah, like I'm probably at like a 5 out of 10 with this.
Yeah, I'd say maybe 6 out of 10.
Okay. Yeah,
probably.
Oscar's potential is probably just Ben Affleck. I can't imagine it getting in anywhere else. That would be kind of like, unless it gets a screenplay somehow, adapted screenplay, which would be
even that I think would be yes, exactly. I'd rather, I had problems with the June screenplay. I'd rather June screenplay got in over
the 100%. 100%. So yeah, but it wasn't the worst thing in the world. Okay, let's talk about Tragedy of Macbeth. I'll start on this one because Thomas is wrong. I loved this movie. I loved every single piece of it. I thought that Denzel Washington gave the best performance of his career. I thought that Frances McDormand was incredible. I thought that Catherine Hunter gave one of the best supporting performances of the year. She's just doing something, and I wanted more of it. Just like all around, this movie looks gorgeous. It has the best cinematography of the year. Just hands down for me, no questions asked. I think the production design is gorgeous. It feels like a play. Like, this is what a what a film adaptation of a play should look like and feel like and be like. It kept like the vibe of the play, not only with like the dialogue, the Shakespearean dialogue, but also like the production design. It felt like a play but bigger. Like, and that was like with Fences. One of my biggest problem with Fences. Fences felt like it just took place on a stage. And it's just like, well, then why did we just put a camera in front of the stage play like Hamilton when they recorded Hamilton? Like, why didn't we just do that? But with this, everything felt like the stage play, but like on a more grandiose level. And I also think the black and white helped with that a lot, because like it just looks gorgeous. Like the contrast is just like so beautifully done. And yeah, I kind of loved the screenplay. I loved all the Shakespearean stuff. I thought this movie was very fun. I thought that this movie was like very enjoyable. I thought that it breezed by. Like, it felt way shorter to me than like the hour 40. Yeah, I loved every single piece of this movie, but I know you felt very differently.
Yeah, so I came out a lot more negatively. I agree with some things you said. I do think it went quickly. It didn't feel slow. And I do think Denzel Washington is pretty good. Not his best performance ever, I think. Him in Training Day was exceptional. But he is pretty good. Frances McDormand, it's not her best work, but I mean, not her best work
Oh no, it's not her best.
Her best work is incredible. But she's still good. I think the rest of them were fine. Corey Hawkins had some supporting acting buzz at the beginning. It completely undeserved. He was barely even remembered he was in the film. Catherine Hunter is doing some stuff. It didn't really work for me, but she's doing some stuff. And at its core, I just don't think this film would ever have worked for me. I shouldn't have to have a Wikipedia article explaining to me the story of Macbeth watching a film about Macbeth. I think the Old English, it holds it back. I don't think this film would have worked with modern English. I think it does add to the overall vibe that they're going for, but I just don't think the vibe that they're going for works, because the Old English, it really does hold it back. It really does. It takes you out of the story because you are having to trying to understand what's happening. At its core, the reason I like films is because I like stories, and this to me, it didn't work as a story. It didn't work narratively. Because I had to have a Wikipedia article. So
I felt completely differently. I thought that the narrative was very straightforward. Did you watch it with subtitles?
I didn't watch it with subtitles, no.
So I did.
Okay.
And I think that also may have helped with the Old English.
Yeah, I mean, that's another thing. I wish I could have watched it in a theatre, in the biggest screen possible, so I could really get lost in this world. But I can't. I didn't. So, and part of a film, it does have to be transferable in a way that I don't really necessarily think this film is. And yeah, I never really, because I had to keep trying to understand what's going on, because I never really felt the connection to the characters I needed. I also don't really buy Denzel Washington and Frances McDormand as these characters. They're very good, but these characters are sort of naive people, and I just think they're maybe a little too old. I just look at them and I think, you wouldn't make these decisions. And the minimalist set, the lighting, the soliloquies, they all just reminded me of watching a play. I'm not that big into theatre, and it felt like it was trying to create this effect, this atmosphere that just on a personal preference level did not work for me. And it felt more like a vanity project for Joel Cohen in a way. I look at it from Annette, which I didn't like, but I respect its ambition because it's going for something that's bold. This, I think, is going for something that's bold, but more so Joel Cohen can pat himself on the back and think, I made a very clever film. I think it does feel a little pretentious in that regard.
Interesting. Yeah. So you talked about the atmosphere. I just got from the first minute of this film, I got completely lost in this world and engrossed in the just the atmosphere and the vibe of the film just worked for me. This is just my type of film, I guess. This style of work, just like Annette, is my type of film. I like very bold films. I like films that are just weird and go for something that we haven't really seen before. So and I don't know. I do feel I actually do feel Joel Cohen put a lot into this. I feel like he really took the time to craft the world. I mean, there's not much that he can do with the narrative. I mean, he did leave it exactly the same as what Shakespeare wrote. And will I argue about, is Shakespeare vain? Yeah, no, Shakespeare's definitely vain. He's a freaking theater writer. But I think that this is both I think Cohen struck the balance of being as faithful as you possibly can be to Shakespeare's original work, while also making it work as a film, and not just a play. I feel like he struck a very, very perfect balance between classical storytelling and modern storytelling, both narratively and visually. That I think just it worked all around to create just this enigma of a film. That's it feels so self-contained and like so many things are happening, but it's really like quite simple. Like the all of the motivations of each character and everything going on is like quite simple, I guess. But like he makes it feel like grandiose and like a lot is going on, so that way you never feel like it's dull. Because I don't know if I could sit through like a full like production of Macbeth like in the theater. I don't know how that probably wouldn't work for me. But like I feel like what Cohen has done here is like he's elevated it to the highest possible level as a film going experience. Like I think this is like the best version of Macbeth as a film we'll get to see.
I mean, it's an experience, definitely. I mean, he is creating a world, and I do think stylistically, cinematography wise, if this doesn't get the Oscar nomination, something has gone wrong. I do think that the cinematography is beautiful to look at, but if you want like a general sort of idea of the films I like, Green Book was one of my favorite films of 2018. That's not a film doing anything different. That is just a film purely based on characters, emotion, and story, and it finds a way to connect with them. So I don't forgive films just for being stylistically good. The Lighthouse, I look at that as an example. The Lighthouse is stylistically amazing, but what it is doing with characters and emotion, it brings it to a new level. If The Lighthouse was just cinematography good, I wouldn't really like it as a film. This I do think, I don't know, it just at its core, the experience I had watching it, I didn't watch it, I watched it on a computer. The Shakespearean dialogue, the sort of the atmosphere of the sort of play it's trying to create, it just did not work for me.
Interesting. Okay, so we were talking before the show about films that you love that I didn't like. And we didn't think we'd find any. Green Book is one. I didn't think Green Book was very good.
Okay.
So yeah, like I do think we differ in taste there. I mean, because I also do love The Lighthouse as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just and like for Green Book, like I didn't connect with a lot of the characters. I didn't really feel like there was much going on. Like that was a film that felt very pretentious to me. So contrary to this, which I felt was like very, very pure and full of emotion, and featured a lot of complex characters and also looked just gorgeous. So it's interesting. It's interesting what we each look for in a film and how that how we each interpret. But I loved the tragedy in Macbeth. I'll put it like a 9.5 out of 10. It was like
I'll put it at probably a 4, I guess, for just because as I said, there were things to like about it. It did create an atmosphere. I won't forget watching it like I would the Tender Bar, and the cinematography was beautiful. But as a whole, it left me a little cold, I have to say.
Yeah, that's fair. And yeah, like so you left cold. I left like wanting to watch it again. Like I wanted to like stay immersed in this world. So very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. As far as Oscars potential for this, Denzel should happen.
I think it probably will happen. I do think he has maybe leapfrogged Peter Dinklage in terms of the 4th spot now. I do think the top 3 are pretty solid. But yeah, I would say Denzel Washington is probably in at this point, and he probably deserves to get in as well.
Yeah, for sure. Cinematography should absolutely happen.
Yeah.
I personally would like to see a sound nomination, but it wasn't shortlisted. But I thought the sound design was very, very good. I personally think Catherine Hunter should happen, but that won't happen. And the other possibility that I think is kind of realistic is production design. That might get the 5th slot. It might.
I mean, maybe, but this is a case of, it's a minimalist set. So they're using the production design fairly well, but they're also not doing much of it. And I feel the Oscars might just like the editing category. They just think more editing, better. They may think the same thing with production design.
Yeah, I mean, but you look at something like Belfast. They just built a street, so
yeah,
maybe
there is potential for it in the category.
Yeah, But that is those are our thoughts on Tragedy Macbeth. Very different, very fun conversation. All right, let's move on to some Sundance talk. Let's do a little preview of the Sundance Film Festival. I am going to be going, and I am very, very excited about it. So I'll run down what I'm seeing, and then we can talk about some stuff that I won't be seeing that could also be major contenders. And then I think my next show it will be over. No, next show will be in the middle of Sundance.
Yeah.
And after that will be it'll be over. But yeah, all right. So I'll quickly touch on what I'm seeing. In order, I'm seeing The Princess on January 20th. It is a documentary about Princess Diana. It is completely made up of found footage. So it's similar to like Apollo 11. So no like interview cutaways or anything. So this could be really interesting, especially after Spencer, which is one of my favorite movies of the year. I know it's your favorite movie of the year.
Yeah.
See, we do agree on some stuff.
We do agree on them. Yeah.
We both love Spencer. So yeah, I was very, very, very excited to check this out. Just keep the Diana train rolling. Maybe this could be a potential documentary nominee next year. Then on Friday, January 21st, I'll be watching Call Jane, which is directed by Phyllis Nagy, and I believe this is her directorial debut. Yeah, this is her directorial debut. Okay. But she has written Carol, and she got an Oscar nomination for it. And Carol is also great.
It is also great.
It's a great movie. So Call Jane, it is about the women's rights movement in the 1960s, and it stars Elizabeth Banks, Sigourney Weaver, and Kate Mara. So, with Phyllis Nagy behind this, writing and directing, this has lots of potential. I think it's a relevant subject. This could be the breakout of Sundance.
It could be.
All right. Then on Saturday, I'm seeing 4 films. Kicking it off with When You Finish Saving the World. This is Jesse Eisenberg's directorial debut. It stars Julianne Moore and Finn Wolfhard. Emma Stone is also producing. And it's just like it's a coming of age film. And like it's from A24. When you think of coming of age in A24, what do you think of? Do you think of Lady Bird, and Lady Bird's a perfect movie.
Yeah. Or 8th grade.
Or 8th grade, or Moonlight. All like pretty perfect movies. So
or Hereditary in some ways. I mean, in some ways.
Sure.
Comes of age.
I guess, yeah. Sure, we'll go with that. I think that the logical next thing to say after those 3 movies would have probably been something like, The Spectacular Now, or but like, if you want to go to Hereditary,
I think there is a reading you can have into Hereditary, which looks at it as a coming of age film.
Maybe that's the next video essay. I don't know.
Maybe.
But yeah, When You Finish Saving the World, I mean, it's A24. It's Jesse Eisenberg. It's based off of an audio drama that Jesse Eisenberg wrote that was very critically acclaimed. So, this I think could have massive potential. It's the opening night film. Then I am seeing We Need to Talk About Cosby. Bill Cosby, that is. How familiar with Bill Cosby are you guys over there?
I am not familiar. In the UK, I don't think really that he was a name. People knew of him. I certainly don't know much about him other than his crimes, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't know much about him. As a presenter ever. He wasn't a massive name in England, but he was a name.
Okay. Yeah. So this is going to be a 4-hour-long documentary that spans his entire 50-year career.
Wow.
I can only assume that this is going to be released as a limited series on a streaming service.
Probably. I mean,
something like
Snyder's Justice League was released onto HBO Max, so maybe.
I mean, because like the Beatles Get Back was like 3 2-hour long episodes, or like something like Tiger King. Like I think this could be like a massive documentary miniseries on a streaming service, assuming it's released as a miniseries. So that will be interesting. So that will be 4 hours of my life. Then I'm seeing Duel. So we talked a little bit about this one before.
Is this the one with a cool name?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it stars Karen Gillan. So yeah, it's basically like Swan Song except they duel. Get it? Yeah, it's a clone, and it's directed by Riley Stearns, who had a like an indie comedy that actually like got some people behind it called The Art of Self-Defense in 2019.
I've heard of that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I haven't seen it. I'll probably watch it before Sundance, but I know there were some critics that like saw it at some festivals and really liked it. So this is their follow up, and I'm excited to see it. Karen Gillan is a great actress. Also, Jesse Eisenberg is in this.
Yes, lots of Jesse Eisenberg that day.
Lots of Jesse Eisenberg, which I will never complain about.
Unless it's Batman v Superman.
But, well, yeah. Okay. Well, then there is Happening, which won Venice last year. So it was probably France's expected submission before they made the correct decision in Titan, and then the Oscar slapped them in the face. But like if they submitted Happening, it probably would have gotten nominated for an Oscar. But, they actually tried to be smart, and the Oscars are like, we don't like intelligence. I'm still very bitter about that, if you can't tell.
Yeah, we could tell.
So then I have 892. Now moving on to Sunday. John Boyega starring. This could be a very meaty role. It's him as a Marine war vet who's like kind of going insane. And like John Boyega can do lots of stuff. He's a good actor, and he can really dive into this role. So it could be interesting. Then we have After Yang, another A24 film. This came out of Cannes last year. It's going to be getting its US release sometime in the coming year. And yeah, it's about like, okay, let me just read this premise because it looks great. In a world where robotic children are purchased as live-in babysitters, a father and daughter attempt to save the life of their robotic family member, Yang, who becomes unresponsive. If that is not the most A24 thing ever.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for it. And then we have Living. So we talked about this before. It's the Bill Nighy Ikiru remake. I don't know what to make of this, because Ikiru's great. Have you seen Ikiru?
I still not seen it.
But it's a very, very good film. So we'll see. I mean, I'm usually pretty opposed to international film remakes, but this is like, 60 years old. 70 years old. But like, I'm more of a problem when we're gonna get like another round remake in 2 years. It's like really,
or when they remade that The Upside with Kevin Hart, which is just from The Untouchables,
Downhill with Will Ferrell. But like this is old. I mean, this is just like West Side Story being remade. I mean, it's So I'm curious. It's Bill Nighy. This could be a thing. This could be like the movie that's like an Oscars, an Oscars like contender that everybody's like no. Similar to like 3 Billboards in 2017, where like film Twitter just hated that movie. Or like Bohemian Rhapsody. This could be that movie. So we'll see.
Yeah. High praise.
Then we have Honk for Jesus, Save Your Soul. I am so excited for this movie. It stars Sterling K. Brown and Regina Hall, and it is a mockumentary about Southern Baptist megachurches.
Okay.
I like it's like it looks like Eyes of Tammy Faye on crack. I mean, it's shot. It's gonna be shot in the mockumentary style. I mean, What We Do in the Shadows is one of my favorite movies just ever. It's a mockumentary. We're going to see that, and it's just going to be like their lives start spiraling out of control, and they're going to go insane. We're going to get crazy performances from Sterling K. Brown and Regina Hall, and it's going to be a thing. It's going to be great. I'm very excited for it. All right, then we have Cha Cha Real Smooth, which is potentially the buzziest film of the fest. It's directed by Cooper Raiff, whose debut feature Shithouse in 2020 was met with very, very high praise. It was one of the indie hits of the year. And this is going to star Dakota Johnson and Leslie Mann, and then Cooper Raiff is going to be starring in the main role. And it's just like it's a quarter life crisis movie. Post college, you don't really know what to do, and you're just kind of like floating around and figuring it out. And it was yeah. I mean, Worst Person in the World was a quarter life crisis movie from this year or last year, and it was great.
Yeah.
So very, very excited about this one. Yeah, definitely has the most buzz behind it. Then we have Something in the Dirt. So the directors of Something in the Dirt, which I always get their names backwards because there's two of them. It's Benson, it's Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead. So they're directing Moon Knight, the Disney Plus show. They did Synchronic in 2020, which was one of my favorite movies of the year with Anthony Mackie. They just do like these like really weird like psychological sci-fi thrillers that are very fun. So maybe this could be their breakthrough. I really like them as directors. They don't contend for Oscars, but they make some good fun movies. And the last movie I'm seeing is Am I Okay, which is Tig Notaro's directorial debut. And this one could be interesting. So it's about two female friends. One of them reveals that she's moving to London, and the other reveals at the same day that she's gay. And then it's about like the conversations that kind of like spiral out from those two reveals to each other. Which could be very interesting. This could be a screenplay movie. This could definitely be a screenplay movie.
It could be.
So, yeah. Some of the other big movies that are premiering here, Alice could be big. So this is a woman is enslaved on a 19th century plantation in Georgia. So then she escapes and discovers that it's actually 1973 and slavery's been abolished, and like nobody's like she's just been kept with a bunch of other enslaved people on the plantation, and it's based on a true story so this actually happened in the 70s. So this I was sadly not able to get into a screening of, but this could be a thing. This could be like, I mean, this could be Get Out.
It could be.
I mean, it's a thriller, but this could be a thing. Regina Hall is starring in another movie called Master, and it's about just like this conspiracy in like a college, and it's about like the like headmaster or whatever of the college like dealing with all of it. And it's Regina Hall. So like I don't know, could be an interesting role for Regina Hall. Then like one of the other big ones in the U.S. competition is called Palm Trees and Power Lines. And this one could be interesting. It is about a 17-year-old girl who has a life-changing encounter with a man twice her age, and like they fall in love, but then he like it's like she tries to try and get out of the relationship because like he turns out to be like not a good person. So like what if licorice pizza went wrong basically. So yeah, that could be interesting. There is a documentary about Lucy and Desi directed by Amy Poehler called Lucy and Desi.
Okay.
Maybe. One of the other bigger documentaries here. Good Luck to You, Rio Grande. We don't know that much about it, but it stars Emma Thompson. Okay, so Second Chance. So this is Raman Barani's follow-up, who it just got an Oscar nomination for The White Tiger in the adapted screenplay category. So this is his follow-up, and it is a biopic about the man who invented the bulletproof vest by shooting himself repeatedly to test it.
Okay.
So this could be an interesting thing. I mean, we've already seen him get nominated for his last film. His follow-up maybe could be a thing. It's a biopic about a very quirky subject.
Yeah.
Maybe. It has potential. And then the last two that I'll touch on here, You Won't Be Alone, which stars Naomi Rapace from Lamb. And it's been described as very similar to Lamb and Midsommar and Hereditary. It's basically been described as like an A24 horror movie, but A24 is not producing it yet. I would be shocked if they didn't pick this up or try to. I think it's distributed by Focus, but I don't know, A24 might try and buy it from them. So it's about, here, I'll just read the plot because it looks very interesting. Set in an isolated mountain village in 19th century Macedonia, the movie follows a young witch who is left to go feral in the woods. Curious about life as a human, she accidentally kills a peasant in the village, then takes her shape to see what life is like in her skin. This ignites her deep-seated curiosity to experience life inside the bodies of others. The witch will be played by different actors across periods of time and will be an old Macedonian dialect. So this is like a very, very folk horror film.
Yes. Yeah.
And it looks very, very weird. But like, I once again, this isn't going to get any kind of Oscars attention. But like,
No.
this could be a big underground hit this year.
Yeah.
And then last thing I'll touch on is Fresh, which has is the first film of Sundance before Sundance even started. The first film of Sundance to be picked up. It was bought by Searchlight. As we know, Searchlight usually has pretty good taste. So it stars Sebastian Stan and Daisy Edgar Jones. Adam McKay is producing. And the premise here is the horrors of modern dating seen through one young woman's defiant battle to survive her new boyfriend's unusual appetites.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's picked up by Searchlight. It's coming out on Hulu, I think in March. So probably too early for any kind of Oscars consideration. But this could be a Gotham or Indie Spirits player. And yeah, that seems interesting. If you had to pick, let's pick a couple films that you think could break out.
Okay, that I think it could break out. Well, I think you said the earlier two that you mentioned, Cool Jane and When You Finish Saving the World. I think those two could break out. What else could break out? I mean, you mentioned Char Will Smooth having a lot of buzz. That obviously could break out. I could see Living break out.
Yeah, maybe.
What else could break out? Maybe Alice as well. Alice, that sounded like an interesting concept. That could run with the Oscars. So yeah, maybe some of those ones could break out.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, the past two, I mean, I shouldn't say past two yet, but assuming Coda gets a Best Picture nomination, the past two US narrative winners will have gotten a nomination at the Oscars. And it looks like both documentary winners will get nominated from this year. Summer of Soul and Flea, which are the two front runners, came out of Sundance. Plus, Hive was their foreign film winner, and that did get shortlisted. So maybe. But yeah, so I'll have some Sundance coverage for you guys. So next show will be right in the middle of Sundance when we record it, at least. So I will have lots to touch on, which will be very, very fun. All right, let's talk about some awards, Thomas.
Okay. This is what the show is for.
This is what the show is for. I mean, we have been talking about awards, but let's break some stuff down. So, did you see the National Society of Film Critics Awards?
I did not know.
Ooh, so we will get a live reaction. A live reaction. from Thomas here on the National Society of Film Critics. So I would say, like, I mean, because obviously you have Critics' Choice, but I would say the tier below that for like the Critics Awards that actually matter are LA, New York, and then the National Society of Film Critics. So yeah, all right. Are we ready?
We are ready.
They do a top 3 for Best Supporting Actor. We had a tie for 3rd place between Cody Smith-McPhee for Power of the Dog and Mike Faced in West Side Story. Yeah, 3rd for Cody.
Okay, 3rd for Cody. Okay, Mike Faced, not done.
Not done. He got 3rd here.
He's outside, but not done.
Yeah, I'd say he's top 10. Top 10.
Yeah.
Number 2, Vincent Linden, Teton.
Okay.
This is exciting. He will not get nominated, but all of the Teton love. Number 1, Anders Danielson Lee, The Worst Person in the World.
Oh, okay.
I want this to be a thing.
I mean, it won't be a thing.
It won't be a thing, but I want this to be a thing because he's phenomenal in the movie. I cannot wait for you to see it. All right. Best Actor. Simon Rex, Red Rocket, 3rd place.
Okay.
This. I mean, I think he's the Adam Sandler and Uncut Gems of this year. Very similar roles. Neither will get nominated, but like, happy to see him showing up some places. 2nd place is Benedict Cumberbatch, The Power of the Dog. And 1st is Hitoshi Nishijima, Drive My Car.
Okay. This happened. Interesting free.
Could Drive My Car happen for actor?
There is potential.
What if Drive My Car gets into picture, director, actor, adapted screenplay, and international? Because those could all happen.
I think director is maybe a little far-fetched.
I think I don't know. I think Hamaguchi is the 6th. I think he's the 6th right now.
Yeah, but I do think that top 5 is solid. But it could definitely get picture, screenplay. Yeah. I mean, there is potential for it to get into actor, especially since Peter Dinklage isn't as strong as he used to be.
Yeah. No, I saw this stat. So, out of the past 10 years, actors who have been nominated for Critics' Choice and Golden Globes but missed SAG nomination, everybody who's had a comparable run to Dinklage so far, none of them have been nominated for Best Actor.
Wow. Okay.
However, on the flip side for Kristen Stewart, out of the 8 who have followed that trend, only one of them has missed the nomination. So Kristen Stewart's in good company. Dinklage is not.
Yeah.
Supporting actress. Okay. Jessie Buckley is 3rd for The Lost Daughter. Could this happen?
She's still in the conversation. She's still in the conversation, but she's probably like 8 or 9, I'd say.
Yeah. Okay. 2nd is Ariana DeBose's West Side Story. And 1st is Ruth Negga Passing. She's in there. She is so in for the nomination at the Oscars.
Yeah.
She's 100% in. All right, actress. Number 3 is Alana Haim.
Okay.
Number 2 is You're Not Rhinesville, Worst Person in the World.
Okay.
Happy about that. And number 1 is Penelope Cruz, Parallel Mothers. I like that.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
But I like that. Cinematography. Ooh, 3rd is Memoria from how am I going to pronounce this guy's name? A Pichitar. Yeah, I'm not going to try. But anyways, Memoria. That's so.
Is that the weird one that's playing in one theater at a time?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. That's how I know that film.
Colombian submission. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Pizza Pong Weerstel Kalu, I think it's how you say it. I don't know. Anyways, it's all this one. It's supposed to be very good. Number 2 is Power of the Dog. Photography. And number 1, they gave it to The Green Knight, which I like.
I like that as well. I like that as well.
All right, best documentary. Number 3, The Velvet Underground. I've been saying it for a long time now that this is getting in at the Oscars. It's Todd Haynes. They like Todd Haynes. He was the one who directed Carol. Carol coming up a lot. He's getting in. Number 2 is Procession.
Okay.
That's interesting. It's on Netflix. I still need to watch it, but it's on Netflix right now. And number 1 is Flea. So no summer.
Okay.
I did get the chance to see Flea. We'll wait to talk about it for a review until both of us have seen it. But Flea is, as I suspected, a perfect movie. All of my my yelling from the mountaintops that it's going to be great. It's just I stand by all of it. It's great. So yeah, happy about it when here. All right, screenplay. Number 3 is Licorice Pizza.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, Parallel Mothers.
Mm-hmm.
And number 1 is Drive My Car.
Wow.
It's
Okay.
inadapted. It's so inadapted.
Yeah. I mean, there are still options in adapted, but I'd put Drive My Car in. You know,
Yeah.
spoilers for my Oscar predictions. Drive My Car is in my adapted screenplay lineup.
Yeah. All right, director. I love this. Number 3 is Celine Sciamma for Petite Maman.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I love this. All right, number 2 is Jane Campion, Power of the Dog.
Mm-hmm.
And number 1 is Raisuke Hamaguchi, Drive My Car.
Okay.
I mean, we know which 2 movies the critics love.
Yes.
Interesting. Number 3 for picture is Power of the Dog.
Okay.
Sliding into that number 2 slot is Petite Maman.
Right. Oh,
Sciamma Supremacy. And number 1 is, to nobody's surprise, Drive My Car.
Okay.
So Drive My Car got National Society of Film Critics, it got LA Film Critics, and it got New York Film Critics.
Mm-hmm.
It's in picture. It's in picture, everybody. It's in picture.
It might well be. I mean, what we can gather from this ceremony is that they like international films plus Power of a Dog. That's what we really gathered from this.
Basically. Yeah, pretty much. That's yeah. All right. What should we do next? Let's go to the Makeup and Hair Society. That should be interesting. So have you seen these?
No, the only ones I've seen are BAFTA Longlist out of the ones on this list.
Okay. Yeah, so I haven't seen the Makeup and Hair or the Society of Composers and Lyricists. So let's go here. Best Contemporary Makeup. Black Widow. Okay. Coming to America. That might be getting nominated. That might just be getting nominated. Don't Look Up. Okay. Some interesting picks here. No Time to Die is here.
Mm-hmm.
So that was shortlisted. No Time to Die was shortlisted.
Yeah, I mean, it's got Rami Malek having makeup on him.
Yeah. And then the Suicide Squad rounds it out. Okay. It's interesting. All right, period makeup. We have Ricardo's. Ricardo's is here.
Mm-hmm.
Cruella is here. Dune is here. Gucci
period?
is here.
I guess this is future and past.
Yeah, I guess. And then Tammy Faye is here.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Tammy Faye, Gucci, Dune, and Cruella are all in. And then we'll probably get something from the contemporary, probably Coming to America or Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
I have to imagine. All right, best special effects makeup. So I'm assuming this is prosthetics. Coming to America.
Mm-hmm.
Dune. House of Gucci. Tammy Faye, and Suicide Squad. Feels normal.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that this is, like I said, I think maybe this is the 5 and then just swapping out Suicide Squad for Cruella. All right, hairstyling. We have Coming to America. That's weird. In the Heights. I like that for hairstyling. No Time to Die. Sure.
Okay.
Whatever. Matrix Resurrections. Okay, I like that pick for hairstyling. There was some cool hair in there. And then the Suicide Squad. I have no problem with those picks.
No,
that's fine. period hairstyling, Ricardo's. Makes sense.
Mm.
They put Nicole Kidman's hair in a perm or something. Then Cruella. Once again, makes sense. Gucci. Makes sense. Tammy Faye. Makes sense. And then West Side Story.
Mm-hmm.
Which, yeah, I think so. I mean, so what got nominated the most here? Cruella, Gucci, Tammy Faye, and then Coming to America were the four most nominated. And then I'm assuming Dune is that fifth. Like, are those just the five for makeup and hair?
They're the five I have. So
okay, they're the five I have as well. Spoilers for our Oscar predictions. But yeah, I think that just makes sense. I think that just makes sense.
I think maybe if West Side Story overperforms, I could see it getting in, but I do think Coming to America is at this point the strongest.
Okay, so is Coming to America the 5?
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably. Actually, I don't know. No, I would say it's 5, yeah.
I feel like it has to be the 5.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so now we have the Society of Composers and Lyricists nominations. So, Best Original Score for Studio Film. So, Don't Look Up is here.
Mm-hmm.
French Dispatch. Encanto.
Maybe.
Encanto. Power of the Dog. And Dune. So, no Spencer, but I'm assuming that has to be independent.
I'm assuming that's not a studio film.
Right. Okay, yeah, so Spencer shows up in Independent. And then The Green Knight. I like that. A lot. Then it's Parallel Mothers. Like I said, it's the 6th. Okay, so I think like, it's the 6 or 7. Then we have Julia, which is a documentary. That also got HMMA, and then American Traitor: The Trial of Axis Sally. What the hell is this? Sorry, I'm just going to Google this. American Traitor: The Trial of Axis Sally. It's on Amazon Prime. And it's like a World War II movie that came out in May.
Okay.
And Al Pacino is in it as a lawyer. Ooh. And it has a 14% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay.
And a 25 on Metacritic.
Okay. I thought I might be watching that, sounded interesting, but maybe not. Maybe I'll pass on that one.
Yeah. I mean, one movie that does look interesting is Munich, The Edge of War with George McKay. Or George Mackey. Yeah.
McKay? I call him McKay.
McKay. Anyways, the dude from 1917. Gonna be on Netflix. Was on the BAFTA Longlist for British film. Could be interesting. All right, for song, let's see what we have for song here. Okay. Where is it? I want my song nominations. Where are you? Okay. We have Guns Go Bang.
Oh, okay.
I like that. No Time to Die.
Yeah.
We have Secret Sister from Rebel Hearts. Okay. So they split up best song. So it's best song for drama or best song for a comedy or musical.
Okay.
So this is for drama. So then Somehow You Do, 4 Good Days, that was shortlisted. I think that could happen because it's Diane Warren, who's long overdue. And Jesus, Never Gonna Tame You from the Mustangs, America's Wild Horses. Okay. So the important ones there are that No Time to Die and Harder They Fall showed up, and then 4 Good Days.
And Be Alive didn't.
Yeah.
Because presumably that's a drama.
Yeah. I don't see it in. Yeah, Be Alive did not show up.
Mm-hmm.
So then we have Together All the Way, Dear White People. So this is for comedy. Just Look Up, Don't Look Up.
Mm-hmm.
Fearless from Spirit Untamed.
Okay. They like horses.
Here I Am Singing My Way Home from Respects. And Home All Summer in the Heights. So no
Belfast.
No Encanto.
No
Belfast.
Coda.
No Coda. So what's here that's on the short list? Respect, Don't Look Up, Harder They Fall, No Time to Die, and 4 Good Days.
Hmm.
Okay.
Interesting. It's interesting.
That's very, very interesting. That's weird. Okay. That's very weird. Okay, so let's take a look at the BAFTA long list. So I have seen Best Picture and Best British Film, but that is it. I believe you've looked at the whole thing, correct?
Yeah, I looked at the whole thing.
Okay. So picture, we have Ricardo's. We've got Belfast. We've got Coda, Don't Look Up, Dune, Gucci, King Richard, Licorice Pizza, No Time to Die, French Dispatch, Lost Daughter, Power of the Dog, Macbeth, Tick Tick Boom, West Side Story. So no Drive My Car.
No.
Drive My Car is not here. What else is missing?
Is
My Car the only big one?
I mean, Nightmare Alley is not here.
Yeah, okay, that's true. Nightmare Alley is not here. I feel like those are the big ones, though.
Yeah.
I don't think. I mean, No Time to Die is here, but I feel like that's kind of expected from BAFTA. Yeah. I mean, you know, I don't know. You're British. You guys like that. No Spider-Man, but I believe Sony forgot to send screeners to BAFTA, if I remember reading that correctly.
Okay.
So we don't see Spider-Man anywhere. No Spencer.
Oh, no Spencer, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like this is for the most part expected, but no Drive My Car is interesting. All right, British film. We have After Love and Ali and Ava, which were at the British Independent Film Awards, as was Belfast. Benediction, Boiling Point, The Color Room, Cruella. Is that a British film? I mean, I guess it takes place in Cruella.
Yeah, I mean, it takes place in Britain.
Okay, sure.
Mostly.
Yeah. Cyrano makes sense. The Duke. There was some buzz about The Duke at the beginning of the year for screenplay. I don't know. Looked kind of fun. Electric Life of Louis Wayne. Everybody's talking about Jamie. House of Gucci. Again, is that Brit? Okay.
That's not at all British, really.
Yeah. The King's Man. Sure. Last Night in Soho. Mother and Sunday. Munich. The Edge of War. No Time to Die. Operation Mincemeat. Passing. And Spencer is here for British film. What's not here? The Souvenir Part 2 is not here.
No.
Which is kind of annoying. Not gonna lie. All right, debut. After Love, Boiling Point, Censor. Censor's great. Have you seen Censor?
I have not seen Censor.
It's a weird, indie horror film about a film censor in the 60s that was had to censor all the video nasties.
Ooh, okay.
And then the video nasties she starts having a mental breakdown and feels like she's being attacked by all of the stuff that she's having to censor. It's really, really interesting, and it ties into her past, and she because someone's making the movie about her past where her sister died, and then it's a really, really interesting psychological thriller. Dying to Divorce is here. The Harder They Fall for James Samuel. Like to see it. Hostel, Keyboard Fantasies, Passing. Is Rebecca Hall British?
Who knows?
Then The Power and Sweetheart. Sure. All right, international. A Hero is here. Expected. Bad Luck Banging or Looney Porn. Sure. I mean, that won Berlin. So, whatever. Compartment Number 6 is expected. Drive My Car. Here. Flea is here. The Hand of God's here. I'm Your Man, which that could maybe surprise. Lamb is here. The Most Beautiful Boy in the World. Parallel Mothers. Like to see it. Petite Maman is here. Yay. Paris 13th District. Both Celine Sciamma films. They like Celine Sciamma. Riders of Justice. which that's Mads Mikkelsen, I believe.
Yeah, I didn't realize that was foreign language actually, but okay.
Yeah. Titan. British people are officially smarter than Americans.
Well, there you go. What can you say?
I mean, you predicted Golden Globes better. They put Titan into international. Like, I think that's all the evidence we need.
Yeah.
And then worst person in the world rounded out. So what's missing? Prayers for the Stolen is not here.
Yeah.
Neither is Hive. Like, pretty different from the Oscars. All right, let's see. What do we have next? Documentary. 14 Peaks, Nothing is Impossible. What is this? Becoming Cousteau. Billie Eilish, The World's a Little Blurry. So Billie Eilish showed up at both.
Maybe.
What if they nominate that to go along with, I don't know.
Her win. If she wins.
Yeah.
That could be interesting.
That could be. Cow. Flea is here. JFK Revisited, Through the Looking. I don't know what that is. Lady Boss, the Jackie Collins story. Don't know what that is. The Lost Leonardo, which probably was supposed to be on the Oscar shortlist but missed. The Most Beautiful Boy in the World, not on the Oscar shortlist. The Real Charlie Chaplin, not on the Oscar shortlist. The Rescues here. The Sparks Brothers, snubbed by the Oscars. Happy to see it here. Summer of Soul is here. Tina, which missed the Oscars, and then the Velvet Underground. Wait, so this is very different from the Oscars.
There's quite a lot missing here. So Attica, Procession, Ascension, Val.
Julia isn't like, so what's the crossover? So Summer of Soul, Flea, The Rescue, the Velvet Underground, and then Billie Eilish are the 5 that crossed over. That would be an interesting 5.
It would be an interesting 5.
I don't think Billie Eilish will happen. I mean, it's in last place on Gold Derby, I think. But who knows? All right, what do we have next? Animated film. Okay, they only did 7. Encanto, Flea, Luca, Mitchell's, Raya, Ron's Gone Wrong, and Sing 2.
No Belle, no Summit of Gods.
Yeah. That's interesting. So Raya's just absolutely the 5 now. Unless Sing 2 happens, which
maybe
it has below, it's at 64-1 on Gold Derby, so it's like it's better than 100-1. That and Belle are at 6 and 7.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sing 2 could happen. There's lots of people in it. There's lots of songs in it, and it's like a happy movie. So we'll see. Maybe they don't want to nominate Disney 3 times.
Maybe.
Director. So we have After Love. We have Belfast is here. That makes sense. Coda is here. Sean Hayter. Don't Look Up. Drive My Car. Here it is. Dune. First Cow,
which was released in 2019.
Yeah. Okay. Wait, did that not come out for you guys until this year, or 2021? Sorry, last year.
I don't know.
Okay.
I watched it this year, or last year.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Okay. That feels weird. The Hand of God is here, Paulo Sorrentino. Could that happen? Could they nominate him?
No. No.
Okay. I'm saying BAFTA, not the Oscars, obviously.
Yeah. But I think there are other foreign language ones in this category that would get an over Hand of God.
Happening is here. We already talked about that. King Richard, Licorice Pizza, Lost Daughter, Passing is here. Petite Maman, Power of the Dog. There's Souvenir Part 2. Macbeth.
Yes.
Titan. Okay, wait. I need BAFTA to nominate Julia Ducournau. I need it. Come on, BAFTA. Do it for me.
Not gonna happen.
It's gonna happen. Trust me. BAFTA's going to do the right thing. West Side Story, and then Zola. That's a pick.
It keeps popping up here and there.
It does. What missed? Oh, geez. Guillermo missed. Guillermo del Toro missed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh. Yeah.
No Parallel Mothers either for Almodovar.
No.
What else? No Spencer. Pablo Larraín isn't here.
Ooh. Yeah, Spencer's hurting here.
Cyrano isn't here. Tick Tick Boom isn't here. Interesting. All right, original screenplay. We have After Love. Like those BAFTA films can really show up. We saw it with Rocks last year and like Calm with Horses. Being the Ricardos, Belfast. The Card Counter. Why? Come on is here. Don't Look Up. The Duke. I said screenplay. It's supposed to be very charming. Sturm Broadbent. The French Dispatch. The Hand of God. King Richard. Soho. Licorice Pizza. Parallel Mothers. Petite Maman. And Worst Person in the World. Oh no, Mass. Oh no.
No, Mass.
That's sad. That's really sad. Come on, guys. No Hero. Pig isn't here.
Oh yeah, Pig. Pig's not here. That is a shame.
Yeah, no Red Rocket. Okay.
No.
All right, adapted. Here we go. Coda, Cyrano, Drive My Car, Dune, Tammy Faye. Okay, that's been getting like nothing for screenplay, but that I'm good with that. The Green Knight. That's nice to see. He should have gotten in for director. Gucci. We're gonna move on to The Last Duel. That's fun to see and adapted. I like that. The Lost Daughter. No Time to Die. I sure. What do you BAFTA? Passing. Power of the Dog. Macbeth. Tick Tick Boom. West Side Story. Did they left out Nightmare Alley again? They hate Nightmare Alley. They just despise Nightmare Alley. No The Humans either. That hype has kind of died down.
That's gone.
Yeah. Kind of surprised like Eternals hasn't showed up anywhere. I don't know. Could have maybe seen that happen.
Maybe.
At least on the short list. Or Zola, since they gave it director.
Zola could have happened. Zola could have been a possibility.
All right, Best Actress. I'm going to literally jump out of a window if Kristen Stewart isn't here.
I'll save you the trouble. She is on here.
Okay, good. Jessica Chastain's here. Coleman is here. Gaga's here. Haim is here. Hudson's here. Jones is here. Kidman's here. All the big ones. Jennifer Lawrence. Okay. Are we going to see Emma Stone? Frances McDormand is here. Renate Reinsve. Claire Rushbrook, Ali and Ava, and then Joanna Scanlon after Love. I mean, sure. There's Case Stu, Tessa Thompson, and then Rachel Zegler. I think they hit everything.
Yeah, no Jodie Comer.
Oh, Penelope Cruz.
Oh, yeah, and Penelope Cruz. But then Parallel Mothers didn't get in director either, so.
Right, yeah. But yeah, this is pretty much everything. Not much missing here. Actor, Riz Ahmed Encounter. I mean, he was pretty good in it. The movie wasn't great, but Riz Ahmed was good. Adil Akhtar, Ali and Ava, sure. Mahershala, Swan Song, deserved. Javier Bardem being the Ricardos. Daniel Craig, No Time to Die. I might legitimately be predicting Daniel Craig to get a nomination here.
Really?
I'm serious.
I don't know.
Not to generalize, but you guys love your James Bond, and this was the
We do love our James Bond.
I'd be shocked if he did. Like, I'm legitimately predicting him to get a nomination. Cumberbatch, DiCaprio, Dinklage, Adam Driver for House of Gucci. Okay. Andrew Garfield, Tick Tick Boom.
I mean, you could have given it to him for The Last Duel.
Right.
Annette. Right. But really, House of Gucci?
That's the worst of his movies this year.
Yeah.
All right. Stephen Graham, Boiling Point, which is on my watch list. I really want to see it.
I really want to see it as well. Yeah. Had great things.
Cooper Hoffman, Licorice Pizza. Okay. Joaquin Phoenix, come on. Will Smith is here for King Richard, and then Denzel, Tragedy of Macbeth.
No Cage.
That's disappointing. Bradley Cooper missed for Nightmare Alley. They just hate Nightmare Alley, which I don't mind. I mean, I didn't hate the movie, but I don't think it was like that great. So that's actually very funny though. Supporting actress, Elf. Here, Blanchett. Wait. Blanchett's here for
They hated Nightmare Alley that much. They felt the need to nominate Cate Blanchett, but couldn't recognize her for Nightmare Alley, so they had to recognize her somewhere else.
I mean, I think she was better in Nightmare Alley than in Don't Look Up. I strongly prefer Don't Look Up, but that's...
Yeah, they just did not want Nightmare Alley on their list.
Okay, so Nightmare Alley... So Cate Blanchett is done, though, now for Nightmare Alley. Now that she missed the short list, like, she got the second nomination, and that's it.
Yeah.
Cate Blanchett... I don't think we need to consider Cate Blanchett anymore for Nightmare Alley.
No.
Jessie Buckley, The Lost Daughter. Keeps on showing up. Anna de Armas, No Time to Die.
No. Okay. Which is, I mean, she's in it for like 5 minutes.
I think that she's very good in it. I would have liked to see more of her character, but that's just the way this is what I'm talking about. You guys love James Bond to an unreasonable amount that you're willing to nominate Anna de Armas. So like
that is true. That is true.
Ariana DeBose, West Side Story. And out for mess. She isn't dead. Come on, guys.
Well.
Nominate her. If she gets nominated, I'll be very happy. But they still snubbed it for screenplay. How did it? Okay. Judi Dench, Belfast.
Well, what did I say?
There you go.
Maybe.
Kirsten Dunst, Power of the Dog. Anthony Ellis, King Richard. Catherine Hunter, Macbeth. Love to see it.
Well.
I do. Rita Moreno, West Side Story, double shortlist, long list, whatever it's called, for West Side Story. Ruth Negga, Passing. Vinette Robinson, Boiling Point. Again, really, really want to see that. Meryl Streep for Don't Look Up.
Another double nominated one.
Okay. And Anya Taylor-Joy for Last Night in Soho. Sure.
Yeah.
What? Okay. Supporting actor. We got David. Okay. Well, did anything miss there that's important? Marley Maitland. Oh, Marley Maitland is just dead.
Yeah.
Marley Maitland's dead.
Yeah, she's done.
Yeah. I think everything else is pretty normal. No Dakota Johnson, I guess, for Lost Daughter. They didn't double nom that. But all right, supporting actor. David Alvarez. West Side Story. Like it. Bradley Cooper, Licorice Pizza. Benicio del Toro, French Dispatch. All right, so no Jeffrey Wright.
No.
And then went with Benicio. I don't hate that. I think I preferred Benicio to Jeffrey Wright.
Yeah, I would agree.
Jamie Dornan and Kieran Hines for Belfast. All right, Belfast boys aren't completely dead.
Yeah, back with a bang.
Mike faced West Side Story. Really loving West Side Story in these acting categories. Garfield for Tammy Faye. I like that a lot. You still haven't seen Tammy Faye, correct?
I still haven't. February 4th is when it releases.
Okay, nice. Honestly, I'm probably gonna get the Blu-ray soon. I can just send you the digital code from it. I don't know if it will work, but
yeah,
it's weird how late things release for you. I just like most things are on streaming here. Like I could stream like Belfast.
Now. Yeah, I mean Belfast is releasing in. I can't be bothered to work out days, but it's Saturday.
Okay, yeah. It's just that's weird. Troy Coates or Coda? We like it. Jared Leto, House of Gucci. We don't like it. Woody Norman. That's great. That's great. Nominate him. I dare you. All right. Al Pacino, House of Gucci. Jesse Plemons, Power of the Dog. I like that. A lot. Mark Rylance, Don't Look Up.
I also like this one.
I really like that pick. J.K. Simmons, Being the Ricardos. And we cannot forget Cody Smith-McPhee, Power of the Dog. All right, best casting. After Love, Belfast, Boiling Point, Coda, Don't Look Up, Dune, Hand of God, Gucci, King Richard, Licorice Pizza, Lost Daughter, Passing, Power of the Dog, Tick Tick Boom, West Side Story. I mean, sure. I don't really care too much about this category. Cinematography, we have Belfast. Come on. Cyrano. Don't Look Up. Dune. The French Dispatch. House of Gucci. The Last Duel. Last Night in Soho. I like that pick. I think it looked very good visually.
Yeah.
Licorice Pizza. There's Nightmare Alley.
Yeah.
There it is. No Time to Die, which I don't hate for cinematography. Power of the Dog, Macbeth, and West Side Story. Oh, Spencer.
Yeah. They don't like Spencer.
Oh, that's disappointing.
I mean, I can see why. Like, it is a pretty negative portrayal of the royal family, and a lot of people in Britain like the royal family.
Yeah. I don't think Stewart's winning BAFTA. Yeah. I'm gonna stand by. I think Olivia Colman wins BAFTA.
Yeah, I'd say she's front runner at the moment.
Okay, what else missed? Oh, they didn't nominate The Green Knight. That's kind of disappointing.
Yeah.
Nothing else. Also, why was House of Gucci in for cinematography? That was one of the ugliest movies of the year.
I don't know.
That movie looked terrible. Like maybe one of the worst color grades I've ever seen. Like, ugh. Costumes: Ricardo's, Belfast, Cruella, Cyrano, Dune, Louis Wayne, which I still want to see. Like, I still want to see that movie.
I passed up on seeing it. It released theaters here. I thought, nah.
Yeah, it's on Prime now.
Okay.
So I don't know. I mean, I've been seeing it show up at some of the tech ones here. Tammy Faye for costumes, I like. French Dispatch, I like. Gucci, sure. Last Night in Soho, I like. Pizza, I like pizza. I also like Licorice Pizza.
Yeah.
Nightmare Alley. I actually do really like Licorice Pizza and costumes. I want to go back to that for a second. I like that pick.
Yeah, I mean Bradley Cooper's costume alone.
Yeah, like all the tracksuits and stuff. I like that pick. Power of the Dog, Spencer. There we go. And West Side Story. What missed? Oh no, Macbeth. No Macbeth.
No, but not much. I
America.
think.
No
Coming to America, I guess, is probably the big one.
Yeah.
Last Duel, maybe.
Last Duel, yeah. But for the most part, they got everything. All right, editing. We have Belfast. We have Don't Look Up. We've got Dune. Got French Dispatch. The Hand of God. That's okay. Gucci. Why? No. Soho. Licorice Pizza. Lost Daughter. No Time to Die. Power of the Dog. Summer of Soul. I like that. Is also Summer of Soul just winning documentary then?
Probably.
Tick Tick Boom. Titan. That's great. West Side Story. What's missing?
King Richard.
Alley. Oh wow, King Richard and Nightmare Alley. King Richard's big.
Yeah.
Anything else? I don't think so.
No.
Makeup and Hair. Ricardo's. Coming to America. Cruella. Cyrano. Don't Look Up. Dune. Louis Wayne. Tammy Faye. French Dispatch. Gucci. The Kingsman. Why? Why? I guess on Rasputin.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. That's weird. The Last Duel. Last Night in Soho. No Time to Die. And West Side Story. Oh, they missed the Suicide Squad.
They did.
And Nightmare Alley.
Yeah, but I mean, not really a surprise for the BAFTAs here.
Yeah. All right, score. Ricardo's. Don't Look Up. Dune. Louis Wayne. French Dispatch. The Green Knight. I like it. Harder They Fall. I like it. King Richard. The Last Duel. Soho. Lost Daughter. Nightmare Alley. No Time to Die. Power of the Dog. And Spencer. I feel like some...
Parallel Mothers.
Oh, wow.
No Parallel Mothers.
Interesting. Yeah.
I
don't know. I mean, you'll see my predictions, but yeah. So I think something's gonna happen with score.
Mm-hmm.
All right, production design. Ricardo's. I didn't like the movie, but like I don't hate that pick. Belfast, Cruella. I like Cyrano, Dune, Electric Life of Louis Wayne. Louis Wayne's showing up a lot here in text. French Dispatch, House of Gucci. Can you be gone? Last Duel, Licorice Pizza, Nightmare Alley's here. No Time to Die. Again, why? But you know, it's the BAFTAs. Power of the Dog, Macbeth, and West Side Story. What missed? What missed? I don't think anything missed. Really?
Don't think so.
I think this is just everything.
Yeah.
All right, visual effects. Again, there will be no Spider-Man because they forgot to send screeners.
Yes.
Black Widow, Cruella. Okay. Don't Look Up, Dune, Eternals, Free Guy. Why is French Dispatch? But okay, like again,
I have no idea.
This movie, but why is French Dispatch in visual effects?
I don't know.
Weird. Ghostbusters Afterlife, The Kingsman, I'm sure. Last Night in Soho, Matrix, No Time to Die, Shang-Chi, and Suicide Squad. Oh, and then Venom. Venom's here.
Yeah, but no Godzilla versus Kong.
Yeah. So that's an interesting one. No Godzilla versus Kong. I think they got everything else from the shortlist, the Oscar shortlist. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they missed Godzilla versus Kong. I don't know if Godzilla shows up. I'm not predicting it currently.
Let me just check. It is in mine. It is in mine currently.
Okay. Interesting. All right. Almost done here. Yeah, I think this is the last one.
Yeah.
Sound. A Quiet Place Part 2. We like it. Belfast. I think that's very deserved. Coda. I like this pick a lot. I like Coda with sound.
It does some interesting stuff with sound.
Yeah, for sure. Don't Look Up. Okay. Dune. French Dispatch. I like that. Ghostbusters. Okay. Okay. Harder They Fall. Like that. The Last Duel. I love the Last Duel sound design.
Yeah, for sure.
Disappointed it missed the Oscar shortlist.
Hmm.
Soho's here. Matrix is here. Power of the Dog's here. No Time to Die is here. Tick Tick Boom and West Side Story. Did they miss anything? Oh, Spider-Man. But again, they forgot.
Tried you, Macbeth, I guess. You said you liked the sound of it.
I did. Yeah, I mean, it could have showed up here, but it wasn't on the Oscar shortlist. I know. I thought how they played with like the knocking sound was pretty fun. But that is the BAFTA long list. Wait, let me check something. Did we miss? Did we do supporting actor?
Yeah, we did.
Okay. Let me double check. Oh, okay. I forgot to say this, but Ben Affleck wasn't here.
Oh, okay. I forgot that, but
yeah. Okay. I forgot that when I was looking over it, but yeah, that's interesting. Also, no Jesus for Tick Tick Boom.
No, he is done.
He's done, sadly. But yeah, no Ben Affleck. I mean,
it's quite an American film, The Tender Bar.
That's true. I mean, could he be Jared Leto in Little Things though?
Maybe. Well, not hopefully. Actually, I don't know if he's completely deserving of a nomination.
Yeah, there are definitely picks I would like over him.
Exactly.
So. Be interesting, but that's a big miss. So yeah, so I'm not overall mad though with those picks. I'm very curious to see the nominations, but I believe that is the show.
That is the show.
Yeah, we have Oscars predictions for all of you lovely people to look forward to. But for now, that was it. That's all we got for you. Also,
go away.
You leave. We hit 100 subscribers, which is fun. People really liked our SAG video, so that was nice. We, very excited to do more reactions. Those are always the most fun type of video. So
yeah.
Anything you would like to plug before we?
You can follow me at Payman's Pictures at YouTube and TikTok at Payman's Pics, where I release videos about films and Doctor Who.
Nice. Yeah. You can find me over at The Basement on YouTube. We did a show on this past Saturday. It was a fun one. We had Robert Parker on the show, which was nice. Talked about the Scream franchise.
Nice.
And also Dan Merle did a weather report in the snow. It was a very chaotic episode.
Okay.
You can go check that out. And then we're doing more stuff over there. It's every Saturday at 7 Central. And then I'm also on Letterboxd at Trevor Matson. Thomas is on Letterboxd at Thomas Gladstone. And you can see everything we watched. Because why wouldn't you? I watched Hotel Transylvania 4 today. All right. Thank you everybody for listening. Stay safe and goodbye.